I'm saying hello today from a very, very interesting spot in Ontario just outside of Peterborough, a place called Lang Pioneer Village, and I'm in a grist mill right now, built in 1896. 1846 was the original building. It burnt down, that's right, and in 1896 they actually rebuilt it or renovated it with the existing stone. Perfect. With me here, a real expert, Frances Cardwell. There we go. She's one of the local guides and historic interpreters here at the grist mill. And you were going to tell me something about the second floor here.
Okay. When the grain comes in, it comes from a field and it's very dusty and dirty. And there is a machine in the basement that cleans the grain. And this is a cyclone dust collector.
Oh, wow.
It had a fan on the top of it, and it was drawing the dust and dirt up from that machine in the basement. They would bag the dust and dirt on first floor, and they could sell it for chicken scratch.
Oh, wow.
And then, like a
I don't even know what chicken scratch is.
Well, there could be weed seeds, there could be small kernels of wheat seeds.
Oh, so it's food for chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just what they call screenings. Okay. And like a vacuum cleaner, the air went out through the window, so they weren't polluting the air with dust. They were containing it in a dust collector.
Very interesting.
This belt is coming from the basement, comes up and turns this wheel, and then of course all the other wheels turn. And all the belts are laced with leather, so you don't get any friction on your steel wheels. That's why they're laced with leather. And we always say to the children, it's quiet here.
It is quiet, yeah.
If I use my vacuum cleaner, it makes more noise than the mill does.
Absolutely.
It's got a motor on it, so we're using water, belts, and wheels.
Very ingenious way. All this happened pretty much before electricity was in wide use. Right?
Yes, because electricity is produced from the turbines.
Absolutely,
yes.
Exactly. So this is pure hydropower, with no electricity in between.
No.
Yeah.
No
very ingenious.
This is an old sifter, and it has 8 different grades of silk in it, so you get the different grades of flour. It was made in Toronto.
Made in Toronto, look at that. Still part of the original mill? Was it original or was it brought here from another location?
It was likely brought here from another location.
Okay.
I'm not sure about some of the machines.
Okay. Wonderful.
These are the legs. In the legs are the elevators, and it takes the grain to the 3rd floor. Then it leaves the elevators and it comes down through a semi-holding bin.
Wow.
And it goes into the rollers nearest the window, and it gets milled. And then it goes up in the other elevator to the sifter. And if it goes through the sifter, it will come back down this spouting system to go into the bag on 1st floor. If it won't go through the sifter, it's going to come back down this spouting system to go into the rollers nearest the elevators that we remilled.
Okay.
We do have a wooden wheel on this shaft.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
I got the hydro there, but you can see the wooden wheel. The belts. Watch. The belts would have been made out of leather. This is a leather belt.
Yes.
Okay. It's driving the sifter. When you buy natural bran, there's no flour in your bran, so they would have put it through a bran duster. And there's a screened-in drum inside, and the fine white flour will come off, and the clear bran stays on the inside. This machine was made in Stratford, Ontario.
Okay.
Are you interested? It's a bran duster. When the mill was built, they were using millstones.
Okay.
And if your grain is damp, it will gum up the millstones when they turn, so they would have to store the grain on the second floor to keep it dry. And we think there were about a dozen bins on this floor to hold the grain in until he was ready to make flour. And that's why there are a lot of windows in the mill. It lets the sunlight in to keep the grain dry.
That's why, okay.
And when you walk by the building, you'll see S's, and that's what's holding the big wooden beams in place.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then on either end there are steel plates. Those are for the tie rods.
Mm-hmm.
The big door was used to bring machinery to this floor, to the second and third floor. Some mills, they block and tackle the grain, but ours comes in and goes up in the elevators.
Okay. What would this machine be here, this very interesting...
Well, are we still talking or recording?
Oh, yeah.
The international plowing match was held down in Keene. 06,
I think.
I'm not sure what year. And anyway, the village took Peter Hamilton's farm implements there because he was from Peterborough, and he made farm implements, and we didn't want them left out in the open, and their trades barns are full, so we've got the farm implements here from Peter Hamilton, and there's very good
good descriptions of what these things were.
Yes.
Okay, so they are not directly mill related, but they are farm implements that were used maybe 100 years ago or a little longer.
I'm trying to think what year it is.
Yeah.
Over 100 years, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty old, this stuff. So.
Well, anyway, that's why they're here.
Okay.
And, it's just to preserve them.
Right, I can see that.
Very good descriptions on them.
Turnip sower. So there's different farm implements here, obviously. Steel horse hoe and cultivator. All sorts of different equipment that was used on farms, you know, quite a while ago.
With the grain. And
exactly.
And the
okay. Very good.
And we do have a third floor.
We will head up there in a second. Is there anything over in this area?
Well, it's an old wooden workbench. And I do have a picture downstairs of one of the old millers that was working at this workbench.
Okay. And what would they do at this workbench, for example?
Just fix some.
Okay, so doing mechanical type of work, repairing stuff. Wonderful. Well, this is the second floor of the grist mill, and we'll be heading up to the third floor now.